So a new animated Spider-Man TV show came out. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I think, is the name of the show. And I saw the previews, the trailers. I saw the discourse on Twitter. I saw the way that it looked, and I saw what the guy had said. I think there was some guy who worked on the project talking about he wanted it to be like the most woke Spider-Man show or something along those lines, right? And I saw all this stuff about the show, and I was like, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, and I'm not going to lie to you. I originally watched this show as a hate watch. It was a hate watch, and I did not want to enjoy it, but I finished episode 1, and I found myself oddly enthused to keep going on with the rest of the season, and I got to the end, and I really enjoyed my time here. I think this was a really solid season of Spider-Man television. I'm not gonna lie. The animation really grew on me. It kind of reminded me of the old MTV Spider-Man TV show. I forget what that show was called, but like MTV made a Spider-Man show, and it's pretty interesting. It is pretty interesting. I actually enjoyed that a lot. I made a video about that actually. It did really good. Shout out you guys. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about is it called Your Adventures with Your Friend? I don't know. It's called something along the lines of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to talk about it. But first, what I didn't like. I want to talk about what I didn't like about the series, because there's like one thing I didn't like. I think the main thing that made me really not mad, but the one thing that kind of irked me, which isn't that big, but it was big to me, is the Spider-Man suit. For like 99% of the show, his suit is white, and I don't enjoy it, because when we first meet him, he's using this like homemade suit, which is pretty. It's a homemade Spider-Man suit, but like it's very experimental. It's got strings and stuff going on. It's an all right Spider-Man suit, but then he meets up with Norman Osborn, and there's this whole episode of him getting these different versions of costumes. There's an all black one that kind of looks like Batman or like a Black Panther-esque suit. He has one that's armor and a cape. And then they finally settle on this white and blue suit, which kind of reminds me of the Future Foundation Spider-Man suit, but it's not the Future Foundation Spider-Man suit. It's just kind of weird. I think that was a very odd artistic choice to make for this show, to give Spider-Man a white suit for 99% of the runtime. And that was the one thing that kind of like brushed me the wrong way. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. Let's talk about the characters. We've got a lot of solid characters here. Of course, Peter Parker himself. He's cool. They did this little thing here because it's set in the MCU universe. So, but it's not in, I don't know what the main universe in the MCU is called. Is it like 616 or something like that? I don't know. But anyway, this is an alternate universe, but it's in the MCU timeline. And this Peter, instead of when he goes home in Civil War and sees Tony Stark waiting in his living room, it's Norman Osborn. And Norman Osborn gives him this internship because Norman Osborn wants to find out who Spider-Man is and help him become a real hero. And he's narrowed it down to 4 people who he thinks Spider-Man might be. And Peter was one of them. So he gives Peter an internship. And then Peter gets caught on a security tape at Norman Osborn's job, at the Oscorp building. He's seen on the cameras putting on his Spider-Man suit. So Norman Osborn's like, oh my gosh, you're Spider-Man. Let me help you become a better Spider-Man. And he makes him all the suits and all that. But he's Norman Osborn. But we'll get to that later. He's cool. And then Harry becomes part of Team Spider-Man. It's like a Team Spider-Man thing, kind of like Team Flash, but like Team Spider-Man. Spider-Man's best friend here is Nico. She is an interesting character. She has this whole magic amulet thing going on. If anyone knows what that is, let me know. I know there were some comic book watchers in the comment. I know there's some people who read the comments who is watching the video right now. So if you could comment down below, what is the magic amulet she got going on? She was doing a whole like magic ritual at the end of the season. It was pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty weird. But if y'all know what that is, let me know, because I would like to be informed about what is going on. I think a really, really good character is, I think his name is, I forget what his last name is, but I'm pretty sure his name is Lonnie. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna whatchamacallit. I'm gonna make sure right now. Oh no, the internet actually isn't helping me. It's not really telling me the cast of the show. I just want to know what this guy's name is. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here we go. I don't see him. I do not see him in the cast, which is kind of crazy. His name is Lonnie, I'm pretty sure, but but in the comic books, he is Tombstone, right? In in Spectacular Spider-Man, he is Tombstone. He's kind of running things, but in this show, he's at high school with Peter, and him and Peter are pretty close friends. And then one day he goes home, and they do this whole thing. And I'm not gonna lie, when they first started doing it, I was a little like, okay, what are we doing? But they did this whole thing where he's getting racially profiled on the bus. The police are about to arrest him at one point. But he lives in this rundown neighborhood, and he goes home to his family and all that. And then he finds out his brother was got involved with this gang, the 110th Street gang. And so then he went to go talk to his brother in his room. He saw his brother snuck out. He goes to the gang hideout, and he's like, leave my brother alone. I'll be in your gang to take his place. And so then they're like, all right, bet. So this leads him down his life of crime. And before this, he was the star quarterback at the school. He is dating Peter's crush, who I don't even remember her name in the show, but he had a girlfriend. He's the star quarterback. He had a lot of things going for him, but he threw it all away so that he could make sure that his brother grows up with a good life. And this starts him down his life of crime. I think that he had the best character arc in this series, in my opinion. Just the way they handled his character and his evolution from him. At the beginning, he didn't really want to be in the gang, and then to the end, he's kind of leading the gang at the end of it. And to see all that transpired to get him there to that point was really interesting to watch. I love what they did with his character. I think he was definitely the best character in the series. There are a lot of cool villains. I think my favorite villains in the show that Peter fought were, there is these, it was a kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde sort of situation, but they had gotten, the girl had these powered hand laser thingies from Doc Ock, and the guy had speed boots that he had got from Doc Ock. And this was Peter's first okay, I might lose this fight, and it was really fun to watch. I forget who else he fought. He fought Scorpion. The Scorpion fight was really good. That was the first time Peter took an L, and the second time he fought Scorpion, he was feeling a lot of doubt. But then he kind of locked in and got really angry, and he was about to kill Scorpion. But then Lonnie stopped him. I feel like his name just isn't Lonnie. I'm not going to lie. Why didn't I just search up Tombstone's name in the comic books? Because then that would tell me what his name is. What is this dude's name? Alonzo Thompson Lincoln. Yo, what? Lonnie Lincoln. Okay. Lonnie Lincoln. I was right. His name is Lonnie. But anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about villains. Yeah, Scorpion fight was cool. Lonnie stopped Spider-Man from killing Scorpion. It was kind of like that moment in No Way Home where Peter's about to literally kill Green Goblin, and then Toby comes in and stops him. But yeah, it was a really good moment. Villains were cool. I thought the animation was done really well. Another thing I didn't like, there's this one part of the show where there's these two gangs that are fighting each other. There's a black gang and there's a Hispanic gang, and they beefing with each other, and they try to go and fight. And now I know it is an animated kids Spider-Man show, but it's not really a kid show per se. So why, when they pull up to fight each other, why are they throwing hands? if they're a gang, I know they got some guns. I know they got some guns. If you watch any gang related TV show, anything, they're in the quote unquote bad part of New York. They've got to have guns. Why are we fighting with hands? It just seemed kind of stupid in my opinion. Why are we fighting hand to hand? No one even pulled out a knife. Like, I need somebody to pull out a weapon. If y'all are a gang, somebody pull out a weapon. Like the second time they fought, the 110th Street gang pulled out guns, but like bro had a scorpion suit, so he kind of like low diffed them all. But I'm saying, y'all a gang, ain't nobody got no knives. I think one girl had a knife. Nah, one dude had a knife. The first time they fought, the one guy had a knife and he was about to kill the leader of the gang, and Lonnie saved his life. But there's no way he's the only one with a weapon and y'all are fighting in a gang. Nah. That's another thing that I didn't like. But overall, I think this was a really solid season of Spider-Man television. I think it told a good story from start to finish. I felt really connected with Peter's character. I'd like to see a little bit more, struggle with him and his life to Spider-Man ratio struggle. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. We really didn't get a defining moment that makes him a hero, which I didn't really enjoy because he never got the "with great power comes great responsibility" speech. They kind of tried to do it because Norman Osborn, being Norman Osborn, we know he's not a good person even in an alternate universe. So he told Peter that with great power comes great respect, and he was telling him how he has to like earn the respect of his enemies, earn the respect of his fans and stuff like that. But like, in order for Spider-Man to become Spider-Man, Peter has to become a hero. We never got that defining moment that makes Peter a hero. Because when we first see him in episode 1, he's saving Nico's life from a Venom monster, which is kind of crazy. Like, so has he always just been a heroic figure? I don't know. We don't know that about Peter. How did Uncle Ben's death really affect Peter? We don't really dive too much into Peter Parker. Now that I'm really sitting down talking about it and reviewing it, we don't delve deep into who Peter Parker is. It's just kind of a Spider-Man show, which isn't bad per se, but Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and I think the second season should dive deeper into who Peter Parker is and what makes him want to be Spider-Man. What makes his Spider-Man different? You know what I'm saying? But they do this whole time travel shenanigan thing with Doctor Strange, and like Doctor Strange shows up at episode 1 and he's fighting a Venom monster, and then the Venom monster brings from his dimension a spider which gives Peter his powers. But then we find out in the last episode that Norman Osborn was stealing Peter's blood and was trying to recreate the spider that gave him his powers. But it turns out that the spider that gave Peter his powers is the spider that Norman Osborn created, because something went wrong with the time stone okay, backtrack a little bit. Before all this went down, Norman Osborn created this whole thing so that he could view into different universes, and then he turned it on and it opened a portal to a Venom monster universe, and then the Venom monster showed up, but then Doctor Strange showed up for some reason to fight the Venom monster, and then the Aya Agamotto went stupid, and then it brought him back in time to the past, to that day that Peter got his powers from the spider, because the spider is actually the spider that Norman Osborn created from Peter's blood. So the past is the future, but the future is also the past. It's a whole convoluted thing. It doesn't really make sense in my brain, but it's cool, I guess. I'm a big fan of time travel stories, but like, it is kind of weird as to how it all went down. It doesn't really make any sense. But at the end of the episode, we get a really good speech from Spider-Man. So, really good Spider-Man speech was cool. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about that, because I don't know. I thought it was cool. I don't think it was great the way that they did that. It, like I said, it didn't really make sense to me per se, but I think it's cool how they tried to do the whole time travel reverse thingy. And then, of course, a portion of the Venom symbiote was left behind, and Norman Osborn found it. So, Venom storyline coming up soon in season 2. I love me. Black Spider-Man's my favorite version of Spider-Man. He's one of my favorite comic book characters, probably my second favorite after Batman. I just love symbiote Spider-Man. He just looks cool. Y'all know I'm a big fan of things that look cool, and symbiote Spider-Man is just aura. He is aura, the definition of it, and I love him, and I want more symbiote Spider-Man stuff in media. So I'm glad that we're getting Venom in season 2. Yeah, side characters got some stuff to do at some points. There's this whole thing with Nico and Harry, which was interesting. I mean, do we really care about it? Not really, but like, you know, overall, I give this show a solid 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. I was thoroughly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. It was a good season of Spider-Man television. If you like Spider-Man stories, you'll like this show. It's not a spectacular Spider-Man, but I think it's better than like the last animated Spider-Man show we got, which was Ultimate Spider-Man, I believe. No, I feel like there was another one after that, which, yeah, there was another Disney XD Spider-Man show, which was pretty good. But dare I say I like this one more. I think this is the best animated Spider-Man show we've gotten in recent years, in my humble opinion. But I don't know. I don't really remember the second Disney XD show. But like, you know, I was seeing a lot of people weren't really vibing with it that much. I think it's peak. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is just a peak Spider-Man story. If you like Spider-Man, you're gonna love it. It's nice, short, to the point. It's a cool little Spider-Man story. It gets the job done. It doesn't excel in anything, but it does what it's supposed to do. And, you know, the good moments are good and the great moments are great. So I think it's a solid 8 out of 10. I would recommend watching Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I hope that is the name of the show, because I really don't know for sure. Anyway, if you're still here watching the video, I'm about to yap about my life. So if you don't care, before you go, drop a like, please, because it will really help out the channel, and subscribe, join the Beam team. But yeah, this video was supposed to come out last week, but I was sick. I sounded like an alien, so I didn't want to drop it last week. But, you know, here it is, and I am trying to be more consistent. It's making me mad that I'm not as consistent as I used to be on YouTube. But, yeah. Mark this as the comeback of King Bean, because I got a lot of stuff planned. This week, we're talking about Spider-Man. Next week, we're going to talk about the Penguin. The week after that, we're going to talk about Daredevil, because I'm going to talk about it in the video, but I didn't know there was a whole, like, I didn't know all of the shows on Netflix kind of like synced up together. So I'm going to be doing some Netflix Marvel TV show video series thing going on here on the channel. A lot of Marvel stuff is going to be talked about in the upcoming weeks. If you like Marvel, strap in. Also, Andor season 2 is about to drop, so I gotta watch season 1, because I haven't watched it. I'm a fake Star Wars fan. I haven't watched Andor. I'm gonna watch that, make a video on that. Solo Leveling deserves a video. I'm bringing back the what I watched this month, because I got a lot of stuff planned. I'm making my glorious return to YouTube. I miss making content, so I'm just gonna do it. But yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know how your day's going. Did you enjoy the show? All that good jazz. And without further ado, don't forget to drink water, pray, subscribe to King X Beam. I love you. Have a great day. Peace out.